What I'm going to do in this video is show you a couple of ways that you can actually calculate present values and future values based on the assignment that we have for Chapter 1. I had some questions about how to do some of those things, particularly step number 6 or question number 6 in the assignment. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use, one, the tables that are at the back of the chapter. And then I'm also going to show how to use Google Sheets to calculate these things. So for number 6 in the assignments, it's asking you to calculate future values and present values. So the first one, the future value of $500, 6 years from now is 7%. So you're going to take $550, put that aside in like a savings account, get 7% on it. How much you're going to have at the end of 6 years. Easy way to do it, go to the tables. If you're looking at the tables that we have in the back of the chapter, the first table, 1A, is future value of one number, one amount. So in other words, you take amount, put it aside. In this case, what you're looking at is $550. You're getting 7% on your money for 6 years. So if you go 7%, look at number of periods, 6 years, you get 1.501. You take the 550 times the 1.501, you get $825.55. So the second one, the future value of $700 saved each year for 10 years. So in other words, if you take $700 and put that aside for 10 years and you're getting 8% of your money, how much are you going to have? So you go to the tables, and we're going to look at table 1B. 1B is the future value of an annuity. In other words, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, each year I'm going to make a payment. The first one was just, I'm going to make one payment. That's it. How much am I going to have? In this case, I'm going to take $700, put that aside every year. So in this case, what you're looking at is 10 years at 8%. Here's your 8%. Here's your 10 years. Come over here. You get the number 14.487. $700 a year times that 14.487, you get $10,140. Now, if you think about it, you're putting aside $7,000. In other words, $700 times 10 years is $7,000. What you're seeing here is the magic of compounding interest. In other words, because you had interest, you're getting 8% on your money, and you're putting that money aside every year, you've gotten over $3,000 in interest. The magic of compounding. So that's how you find the future value using the tables. Now, if you're going to find the present value, in C, it's saying, okay, how much do I have to put away today? Okay, the present value. If I'm going to get 5% interest and I want to have $1,000 5 years from now. So what you do is you go to the tables, you go to table 1C, the present value of a single amount. What you're looking at is 5% 5 years from now. Here's 5% on your money. 5 years, 0.784. So I take that $1,000 times 0.784. So I have to put aside $784 now so that at the end of 5 years, I have $1,000. Okay? The present value of a single amount. Now in D, it's asking for the present value of an annuity. In other words, how much do I have to put away now so that I can take out $500 a year for 10 years? And I'm going to get 8% of my money. All right, so we go to table 1D, present value of an annuity. And what you're looking at here is we're going to take $500 out a year for 10 years at 8%. We're getting 8% on our money. We're looking at 10 years. Where does it intersect? 6.710. 6.710. So if I take that $500 times the 6.710, works out to $33.55. If you think about it, what you're doing is you're taking out $500 for 10 years. That's $5,000. The thing is, if I put away $33.50 right now, I'm taking out $500 the next year, but I'm still getting 5% on my 8% on my money every year. So again, you're getting that compounding of interest. So it really is interesting to see the magic of compounding. So that's how you use the tables. Now, you can also use Google Sheets to do this. Let me take this out. You can also use Google Sheets to do this. What you're doing is you're inserting functions. So for the first one, we're looking at the future value of $550 6 years from now at 7%. So what we do is we go up to Insert, Function. We're looking for a financial function. In this case, future value, FV, future value. So I click on that, and what it does is it shows me here are the things that you need to input: rate, number of periods, and it's highlighting what it is that's necessary. It also shows you what some of those things actually mean and what they are to help you learn about it. So in this case, to get the future value of $500 6 years from now at 7%, the rate is 7%. So I'm going to type in 7%. I'm going to do a comma. You have to put the commas in there, folks. The number of periods. In this case, it's 6 years. Now remember, that's 7% at 6 years. So I'm going to put in 6, my number of periods. The payment amount. All right. The payment amount. What you're doing is you're putting away $550. Oops. Payment amount is 0. Okay. Comma. Present amount. I'm putting $550 away. So the present value of what I'm putting away minus $550. In other words, what's happening is I'm taking $550 out of my pocket, putting that in there. Now, as it does this, it shows you how much it's calculating as it goes. So I put in my rate, number of periods, payment amount, and present value. End or beginning, that's saying that is it at the beginning or the end of a period. It's going to assume that it's at the end if you don't put anything in there. I'm just going to do that. Put it, press enter, I get the 825.40. You'll see there's a little bit of a difference. There's a rounding error as far as between the tables and with the function. Close enough. Now what we're going to do is look at the future value of $700 saved each year for 10 years, and I'm getting 8% on my money. So I'm going to put aside $700 every year. I'm going to go up to Insert, go to Function, Financial, Future Value. In this case, the rate, 8%. So I'm going to type in 8%, comma. Number of periods, now that's 8% per year. Number of periods is 10 years, comma. Payment amount. What I'm doing is I'm putting aside $700 every year, minus $700, because it's coming out of my pocket. All right, comma. Present value. In other words, I'm starting off, I have nothing in there, it's 0. And you can see it's already calculating it for you. Press enter. You get the 10,140. Again, you're going to get a little bit of a rounding error between the tables and the formula. Close enough. Now, present value. In other words, how much do I have to put aside now to have $1,000 in 5 years if I'm getting 5% on my money? So I'm going to go up and insert a function, financial, and we'll look for present value. Here's present value, PV. So again, what it's going to do is it's going to prompt us all the things that are necessary. So what's the rate that we have right now? It is 5%. 5%, comma. Number of periods. In other words, 5 years from now. 5 years from now, comma. How much am I going to have to pay? All right. Well, at this point, I really don't know. So I'm just going to put a 0 in there, comma. And the future value, what it is that I want to have is $1,000. I'm going to put a minus 1 so I can take it out. Minus $1,000. Enter. I get $783. Now, let's look at D. Again, what we're looking at here is I want to take out $500 a year for 10 years. So how much do I have to put away now? So I'm going to go up and Insert, Function, financial present value. Again, it's going to prompt me. So the rate is going to be 8%, comma. How many periods? We're talking 10 years, comma. Payment amount, how much is going to be paid out? $500, comma. And it says, what is the future value? Okay, that's optional. I can put something in or I don't have to. I'm just saying, okay, I want nothing there. You see, I get my $33.55. $33.55. So that's the easy way to do this. Instead of having to use the formulas and things like that, the easy way to do it, first of all, is the tables. That's the easiest way. Second of all is to use Google Sheets, which is nothing more than a giant calculator. If you have questions, run into problems, give me a shout.